Are you going on dates with attractive, high quality women but still get friend zoned? Your life is handled, you have discipline, you have standards, but when it comes to dating, the women you actually want doesn't seem to choose you. And I know you've been following the common advice: dating apps, social circle, making money, and even therapy. I know this because I was there too. I didn't lack any ambition or discipline. Dating was the only thing that I couldn't just crack. And until my late 20s, no matter how much I improved on paper, I just couldn't attract the women that I really wanted. Now, in 2025, I'm consistently meeting the women I genuinely would like to date. And for the first time, I'm choosing who I want to date instead of the other way around. And the crazy part is, nothing magical happened. I just started understanding the basic principles of attraction. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly why attractive women ghost you after a good date, what actually creates attraction on dates, and how to stop relying on luck and build consistent options. So who is this actually for? This is for work-oriented men with high standards who aren't willing to date down, and men who want to better their dating life without wasting their time getting friend-zoned. So if you're looking for shortcuts or quick fixes like dating apps, this video is probably not for you. But if you want to build a healthy and intentional dating life without lowering your standards, keep watching. Now, before I break down how attraction actually works, you might be wondering, who is this guy to tell me why my dating life is not working? And that's a fair question. My name is Minjae, and for most of my 20s, my dating life was a mess. On paper, I was doing everything right, working on my physique, my career, and being disciplined. But no matter what I did, the results never changed. I still couldn't attract the women I wanted, still getting friend zoned. To be honest, in my late 20s, I started to think maybe this part of my life isn't gonna work. But what changed everything was realizing this one thing: that attraction follows a structure. Once I understood how attraction worked, everything started to click. And for the first time, I stopped guessing and women started to reach out to me. Over the last 3 years, I've been on hundreds of dates, consistently meeting women I actually admire. But more importantly, I help men like Donnie or David do the same. Donnie actually had his life handled: career, ambition, and discipline. But his dates was always ending in the same results: friend zone. Once he learned where attraction was breaking down, his dating life completely changed like this. David was stuck in the same pattern for years: good conversation, but no progress. After going through the same exact process, he was able to see results like this.
I don't know what I was scared of this whole time. Yeah, she was a baddie too.
The truth is, you don't need to become a different person or lower your standards. You just need to learn the core elements of attraction. So if you're tired of getting friend zoned and having zero control over your dating life, I'm gonna go through the 3 shifts that I experienced that really changed my game. Shift number 1, you're not lacking opportunities, you're lacking attraction. Most men think their problem is not having enough opportunities, not enough dates, not enough dating apps, not enough social circle. But that's not the issue, because most men had at least 2 dates where they really liked the women and they blew it. And even if you go on a few dates a year, the pattern is similar. The date feels good, the conversation flows, but you still get friend zoned. That's when you realize it's not about lacking opportunity, it's about utilizing those opportunities with attraction building. Because even one date with the right women, if handled correctly, could have led to dating or relationship. Now that brings me to the second shift that really changed my dating life. Shift number 2, authenticity is not always the answer. You hear this advice all the time: just be yourself. And on the surface, it looks true. You shouldn't fake who you are. You shouldn't perform. But here's what nobody tells you: being yourself without competence does not create attraction, it only creates comfort. And comfort is exactly why so many dates end up in the friend zone. Think about any skill in your life: music, sports, and business. You don't start by being authentic. You start by learning the fundamentals, and only after you learn the basics can you be authentic and express yourself. Dating works the exact same way. If you don't understand attraction, being yourself just means that you're repeating the same exact mistakes you made before. But once you understand the fundamentals of attraction, something changes. You don't have to fake anything anymore, and you can be yourself, be authentic, and be attractive at the same time. The final shift is attraction is not luck, it's a system. Most men think attracting a woman is luck. They blame chemistry, timing, and whether the stars align. But if you get friend zoned over and over again, it's simply a lack of structure and consistency. So once you understand the principles of attraction, you could use it every time you go on a date and replicate those results. That's why I built the attraction system. No theory, no motivation. It's a simple 3-step process that you can use. It shows you exactly what to focus on at each stage, and attraction becomes less confusing and you can replicate it every time. Let me break it down to you guys. Phase 1 is all about diagnosing your weakness in your communication. Before you fix anything, you need to figure out what's actually going wrong. But most men skip this step. Instead, they think, I need more dates, I need more confidence, I need better lines. But here's the truth. Attraction doesn't break randomly. It breaks because of very specific behaviors. And those behaviors fall into 2 main categories: nonverbal and verbal communication. Nonverbal means everything you're doing without saying a word. Stuff like eye contact, facial expression, body posture, the distance between you and the girl, and so on. Now here's the thing. If your nonverbal communication is too serious, she feels pressured. But if it's too flat or neutral, there's no spark or tension. So you could say the exact same words, but your nonverbal communication is gonna make or break her reaction. Verbal communication is all about what you actually say. It includes teasing, flirting, creating curiosity. So if you don't have enough of these elements in your verbal communication, the conversation becomes illogical and like a job interview. And if you're trying too hard to tease or flirt, it comes off unnatural and forced. Now, at this point, most of you guys are thinking, okay, I understand, but where am I exactly messing this up? That's exactly why I put together a simple attraction checklist. You can find that in the description of this video. And once you know where you're going wrong, it's time to move on to phase 2. Phase 2 is all about building it the right way. It's not about saying fancy lines or becoming a person you're not. It's all about understanding attraction and applying it in real life. I break this down into what I call the 3 pillars of attraction. The first pillar is teasing. Teasing is what keeps you out of the nice guy friend zone. It adds playfulness, challenge, and spark to the interaction. But when you're too nice, always agreeing, always smiling, and never pushing back, you come off very safe, but get into the friend zone. Next is flirting. Flirting is what shifts the vibe from friendly to romantic. Without it, you could have the deepest conversation ever and still get a hey, I still see you as a friend. Flirting adds tension, fun, and mystery, and that's what creates the spark. The third pillar is framing. Framing is how you show interest without seeming needy. It's the difference between leading the conversation with confidence versus chasing validation. When your frame is strong, you don't seek approval, you set the tone of the interaction. You become the leader instead of the follower. When all these 3 things work together, teasing, flirting, and framing, attraction feels more natural and consistent. Now we can move on to phase 3, which is all about sharpening your skills and replicating what already works. By now, you would already know where attraction is breaking and how to improve it with teasing, flirting, and framing. Now, it's time to take that and make it automatic. How to do that? One simple word: approaching. Not waiting around social circles, hoping someone would set you up, going on random dates that don't lead to anywhere. Approaching is the fastest way to improve because it gives you volume. More interactions, more feedback, more growth. It's like this. Every time you approach, you're testing something. You say something, you watch the reaction, and you tweak. That's how real improvement is made. Small changes repeated over time. That is the formula. And yes, it is uncomfortable at first, but in the beginning, you don't have to be perfect. Just make the small steps every single day. Once your communication sharpens, you can use the same formula to different women in different situations and get predictable results. That's when you stop relying on luck and you stop hoping and you start choosing. Real talk, this isn't the only way to build your dating life, but this is what worked for me and my other clients. So if you're serious about getting better, this is where it starts. Just like Donnie, who understood attraction but kept second guessing himself.
Holy fuck, your advice is like actually like helping me. What the fuck? Like for doing this today, I felt like I wasn't very good at building comfort, but I was actually able to establish like a lot more comfort and rapport.
And now runs dates with clarity and direction. A Roman who used to rely on dating apps now learned how to replicate his success consistently. Or Amit, who stopped overthinking every interaction after learning the system.
That forced it. I was like, how am I doing the entire time in my mind? I'm like, how is this so much easier than I thought? Bro, I'm surprised.
As you can see, this worked for men who have completely different personality, backgrounds, and situations. So if you want help applying this 3-step attraction system for yourself, the next step is simple. Book a call using the link in description. On that call, we're gonna break down your situation, identify what's missing, and see if it makes sense for us to work together. By the way, this call is not for everyone. It's for men who are actually ready to change their dating life, not just understand it. Thanks for listening. Peace.